Welcome to watch the video of reference models in networks. The two models, the OSI reference model and the TCP/IP reference model. Actually, a reference model that gives a conceptual framework that standardizes communication between the heterogeneous networks. So the protocols associated with this OSI model are not used anymore. However, the model itself is actually quite general and a valid one. So the TCP/IP model has the opposite properties. The model itself is not of much use, but the protocols are widely used. But in case of OSI model, it is a reversible thing. The main importance of using this reference model in networking is standardization. So this reference model helps to provide a common language for all the network engineers that helps to simplify the design easily. Then interoperability. Here they can make sure that different network devices from various vendors can work together in a synchronous manner. Then problem solving. So it helps to identify and solve the issues by a clear framework structure. So the two models generally are OSI model and TCP/IP model. So this OSI model generally defines the structure and function of a network communication. But here this TCP/IP model is a practical implementation of real-world networks with a simplified concept. The general overview of a OSI model, it is having 7 layers. Physical, so it is responsible for transmission of the data bytes. Then second one is data link layer that helps to transfer the data between adjacent network devices. Then the third one is network layer. So it helps in routing and addressing of data packets across the networks. Then transport layer, it makes sure it reaches the correct destination in a correct time. Then session layer, so it helps to make sure the communication between the applications is going on correctly. Then presentation layer, it is for translate the data from one format to another format to make the application work. Then final one is the highest layer, that is the application layer that provides service to application. What do you mean by a TCP/IP first? So it is a layered server architecture system in which each layer is defined according to a specific function to perform. So it is having 4 layers such as application, transport, internet and network interface layers. So it helps to transmit the data from one layer to another. Why this TCP is important? So it is a backbone of modern internet. Normally it helps to form a framework for communication, then ensuring different devices gets connected with each other in the network. The 4 layers present in the TCP/IP model is application layer, transport, internet and network accessing, which is for physical transmission, and then internet layer helpful for routing and addressing the data. Then end-to-end communication will be carried over by the transport layer. Then application layer helps in user applications. So the physical layer is about hardware and transmitting the signals and the encoding of data. So hardware is nothing but cables, connectors and NEC cards, so network interfacing cards and hubs. So transmitting the signal in the form of electrical energy. So then we have to encode the data if further required. So it converts the digital data of zeros and ones into corresponding signal format, which is suitable for transmitting the data over the physical layers. The purpose of the data link layer is to detect and correct the errors. Then media access control, so it allowing multiple devices to share the network efficiently. Then framing, so it organizes the data in form of frames and adding a header and trailers to helps the transmission of data over the network. Internet layer, so normally it is used for addressing the data. So a IP address can be used to unique identification of the data over the internet. Then it determines the specific path for data packets to reach the destination. If a large data packets can be further divided into small fragments. Then transportation layer, so in transport layer as usual it helps for segmenting. So it dividing the data from application layer into segments for transmission. Then flow control, So if there's huge amount of data means there is a possibility of congestion and network traffic. So we have to regulate the data flow to prevent the congestion. The final thing is error control method. So by detecting and retransmission of the lost or damaged segments, we can control the errors. Application layer, it generally interacts with an application program, so which is the highest level of the OSI model, and it is closed to the end user. So it means the OSI application layer allowing the users to interact with the software application. So the examples of the application layer is an application such as file transfer, email, remote login, etc. Protocols present in the TCP/IP model. So TCP, transmission control protocol, user datagram protocol, internet protocol, and hypertext transfer protocol. So these are the four protocols that are used in TCP/IP model. Generally, TCP is a connection-oriented protocol for data communication and is a reliable method. But UDP is a connectionless, so it is a highly unreliable one. Then IP that helps for addressing and routing of the data packets. Then HTTP is used for retrieving the web pages from the web service. Why this TCP is important? So it is the main backbone of the network that helps to create a large interconnected global network, and it facilitates the communications. So it is a very important one for anyone in network admin or software developing and using the internet in an effective manner. There are main benefits of using this TCP/IP model. So it helps you to set up a connection between different types of computers. Then it operates independently of the operating system and is supporting many routing protocols. So it is a highly scalable client server architecture, and it can be operate in an independent manner. So it has some drawback, a complicated model to set up and manage, and the model, the transport layer does not guarantee the delivery of packets, and replacing the protocol in this TCP/IP is not an easy one, and it has no clear separation from its services, interfaces, and protocols. I hope you understand the concept of this TCP/IP model. Meet you in the next video. Till then, it's goodbye from Vijay.